12-0 Wigan at half-time here at Warrington as we approach the second half. More stats now from Phil.
Well, the Gears had a first share of possession here. Warrington's play the balls, the parts of the field. You can see it's been a very attritional game. Just look how much in the middle of the field the Wolves have centred the ball. They've tried to run through the middle of Wigan without great success. Wigan's possession, well, marginally less, but they've made more breaks, as you can see. Have tried to blast the hinges off the door.
Like you around the country here at the ground, the discussion has raged on the gantry about that try that was awarded to Liam Farrell in the first half. And just to clear everything up, this rule was brought. So they are the people to blame.
That means that it's A-OK if it comes from the south.
If it comes from the south, Steve-O, it is good.
It is good. I'm not so sure everyone will agree with that, but...
everyone listening to us and watching on Fox Sports tonight will agree, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And Sky TV NZ as well. I'm sure the Kiwis, though, will not take responsibility for that rule.
Well, I'm sure plenty of Aussies will be wanting the little halfback Chris Sandow to show the skill factor and try to get this Wolves outfit back into this game.
Well, he will as well, Steve-O. You know, you think back, the likes of Alan Langer, Andrew Johns have worn the Warrington colours in his position in the Super League era. You also think about Nathan Wood, Michael Monaghan. Chris Sandow will want to impress in this second half, I fancy.
Well, I was disappointed with the way that Warrington did not utilise the dummy runners enough. There was far too much one out.
That's a good chase from Ben Curry, and it's well policed by Matty Bowen, who stays the right side of the whitewash in these very greasy conditions. He did well. He's playing well, Matty Bowen, isn't he, tonight? He really is.
That's a brilliant kick ball, that. Look where they're trapped now, and this is where you've got to really press in defence. This is where you talk, you communicate to the bloke next to you, saying, let's get off the line here, and let's belt him, let's keep him down here. So when we get the ball back, we get it back in decent field position.
And it was great work by Matty Bowen. We talk about, you know, his ability to jink through the defences, but he put himself in a correct position there.
That was a forward pass. That was a forward pass inside their own quarter by Wigan.
And that's come about from the pressure. That's come about from the pressure of the Warrington defence, where they're getting off the line. Roy Asatasi has started this second half. He's come up with a big shot early on in the first minute, and then he's come up with another decent shot here. That's exactly what they need.
12-10 now. Leeds are ahead at the KC Stadium. That's live on Sky Sports Extra, the channel you can find on the website or via the iPad app. And here on the main channel, we have got Warrington looking to get themselves into this match at the start of this second half. Ratchford to his feet, plays the ball to Atkins. He comes down the left-hand side, Atkins, but that was one-out stuff. He was on his own. And Dwyer is waiting 10 metres away from the Wigan line. He gives the ball here into centre field, and Asatasi nearly fumbled that again. Stands up, Dwyer waits. Dwyer fires the pass to Sandow. Sandow then to Miley. He got caught late. Good feet from Wheeler. Good feet from Wheeler. Good defence from Bowen.
Boy, he tried to step through there, and Bowen just smashed him to the ground.
Dwyer again to Sandow. Here is Chris Hill. Hill inside one defender. Down he goes under pressure from George Williams. Plays the ball untidily. Dwyer again to the in-goal area, and Liam Farrell will take no chances.
And that's much better from Warrington. They've applied the pressure. They know that Wigan is struggling slightly. It was good work in the end from Farrell. He channeled back. He read it well.
Well, they forced 4 goal line dropouts now. Can they make this one pay? Angela Powers is on the sideline.
He's that debate was raging at half-time with you, Eddie. Well, it was in the changing rooms at Warrington as well. Stefan Ratchford is convinced he got that ball down, but, you know, there's nothing they can do about that now. They reckon that Warrington are only just slightly, Wigan are only just slightly better than Warrington so far. They've asked questions of the Wigan line, but not quite got over it and touched the ball down. 12-0, a fair scoreline, says Tony Smith, but they've got a lot of work to do in this second half. From Sean Wayne's point of view, happy with the way it's going so far. They've played the conditions well, he says. Just keep doing more of the same.
Well, they cough the ball up again in dangerous territory for the Warrington defence. That's a great backwards run from John Bateman. He's finding a new career for himself in the centres, this young man, isn't he?
Certainly is. He's controlled it as well. He's a tough customer. I really like his style. Never say die. Keeps going all the time. But it's a little bit of professionalism now that we're going to see from Wigan. They're going to slow things down slightly. They know they've got the best kicker out there in Matty Smith.
On the calls, Ben.
That was never pass. It was none.
Well, he'll be disappointed with that.
They did flood an area though, didn't they, with a lot of bodies. You saw that Ben Flower was through the hole there. Maybe Wheeler perhaps might have just pulled him back. They put a lot of attackers into a tight space, overcrowding that zone. See what they're trying to do. Rather than just go around Warrington, they were trying to go through them.
Well, as I mentioned, I thought Wigan would go real professional, just take it steady, get the kick and chase, apply the pressure. They're not in a catch-up mood. It's Warrington that has to do that. They're 12 points adrift. Warrington have to try and risk doing something a little bit different, maybe chip over the top.
Oh, this is good from Wheeler. He got away from three would-be tacklers then before Gildart and company got to him. Here goes Dwyer. Big hit. What a hit by Ryan Sutton and Ben Flower that was. Now it's Chris Hill.
Release Sean 3. Hold.
Dwyer waits again. Rain tumbling down from the skies once more. Myler goes inside, but is brought down by Ryan Hampshire.
Well done.
Ratchford goes wide. Dab to the in-goal area. This will stand in goal, and again they're going to force another goal line dropout. Charnley, too quick.
Great option. In these conditions, you put the little kick through. Keep getting the sets one after another, and the pressure will break. You usually get, if you get 3 sets on the trot, you normally come up with the points.
Time back on.
Goal line dropout then for Wigan by Matty Smith. Up to the halfway line, claimed by Joel Monaghan. Picks up pace, Monaghan.
One. Move, Ryan. Hold, George, hold. Go.
Dwyer. Asatazi, he goes down, does Big Roy, New Zealand international 24 times, 11th in a row off the subs bench tonight. Sandow, looping pass to nobody. Picked up by Kevin Penny. They've lost momentum. Manfredi saw to that. Sandow again. King and Hill. Trying to go around Sutton. Doing well, Chris Hill. Important tackle to Williams. The ball.
Say 5, Eddie.
5
so they've been under pressure, yet they've not managed to cross the line, Warrington. That will lift your spirits, that knowing that you can keep out the opposition when you're under that pressure.
And Smith has seen a gap. He went for it. Asatazi just got to him in the nick of time. Williams. Centre field it goes to Hampshire. Hampshire is buried by Philbin. We reach the last tackle here. So Bowen slides the kick in behind the defence. Ratchford's after this. It's bouncing everywhere. Oh, and it's touchdown by Bowen. It was grounded, though. It was grounded this time by Stefan Ratchford.
And did he ground it on purpose?
Yes, he did.
That's the law. Let's see.
He makes sure of this. There.
Yeah, fingertips. But again, what a beautiful kick through by Matty Bowen. You know, we talk about the leadership of the skipper, Sean O'Loughlin. But you've seen tonight in difficult conditions that Matty Bowen has taken over the realm of just sorting the three quarters out.
And Stefan Ratchford watching the replay on our big screen pretty closely. Just seeing Anantha throws, thinking, what's the difference?
The interpretation.
The difference is the hands came from up above and not along the ground.
Move right, come on.
Well, I'll take you to task after this game, Eddie, but we won't talk about it now because Wigan have got a great opportunity.
They have, and here is Bateman, and Bateman with the dummy, and Bateman with the try for Wigan. Bateman stretches the lead. And John Bateman, try last week against Leeds in the 1825 defeat. The top tackler of 2015 for Wigan, and now an important try for Wigan.
Well, isn't this the sign of a good side? A team that's been under pressure at one end, and then they can go down the other end, and they can come up with a try. The defence from Wigan in this game, you only have to look at the scoreboard where it's the big fat 0, but what about Matty Smith at the line, and Joel Tompkins gets the ball away, it goes to ground, and that man, John Bateman, makes his name, or has made his name as a back rower playing in the centre. And I agree with you, Eddie, he's been absolutely fabulous in that position, hasn't he?
He has been brilliant. And did you see the dummy? It sent 4 Warrington defenders the wrong way. They're not happy, the Warrington Wolves supporters. They know the season's over if they lose this.
Yeah, they've been beaten by a very, very good side tonight, and they've been...
Well, you've got them beaten. You've got them beaten.
Yeah, they are, full of team spirit, in as much as this man has been outstanding, Matty Bowen. He's been involved in every single try that Wigan have brought about. That kick into the corner there, where you could see that Ratchford touching in goal area, they got the possession and they scored the try. It's professional at the right time of the season, Eddie.
Well, Warrington had probably arguably the best 6 minutes of this match to start the second half. Lots of chances attacking as that kick just goes to the post, so add 2 more points to it. And a minute later, Wigan get to the other end of the field and make it look relatively easy. With one chance, they scored 6 points. It's all about Warrington. They gave it everything after coming out from half-time, but couldn't cope there with Wigan shifting the ball, change of direction. I guess it's a game of numbers and angles, and at the moment, Wigan have just got that over their opponents.
They have, and Sean Wayne plotting more to come. And you know, you can say what you like, you can write what you like, you can have an opinion what you like, that this man alongside me here, he picked out Matty Bowen, he picked out Stefan Ratchford before the match, didn't you, Steve-O? He said one of those two would be the orchestrator who pulls the strings. Yeah. Bowen is proving you right.
Yeah, and it's mainly due to the fact, Eddie, that I was confident because of the conditions tonight. You know, it's not a three-quarter night, but you need someone that's got the finesse, someone that can just produce that magic, and Bowen has done that. Ratchford's tried, but he's behind a beaten set of forwards.
He's been absolutely brilliant as well, George Williams. He's played in the hooker role for the last 20 minutes because of there's no Mickey McLaurin, so I think he's been a quality player in the side as well. But the forwards for me from Wigan, they're the ones who took control. Matty Bowen's playing off the back of them.
A real game going on at the KC Stadium. Leeds 18, Hull 16. And so that one's available on Sky Sports Extra on the website. Just log on to that, watch that with one eye. Stay with us here at the Halliwell Jones Stadium.
Performance we've seen from the Warrington side, if they're going to pip this one against a professional Wigan outfit. The defence is solid, it's been rough, it's been cruel. They are the team that's been getting over the advantage line. Warrington, very rarely.
Sandow with another high spiralling kick. Bowen's underneath this. He doesn't make any mistakes, and away he goes again.
It's that acceleration. You know, a lot of fullbacks will take it and say, boy, I'm relieved to have just diffused the bomb. He gets it, and he gets into top gear. He gets into overdrive very, very quickly.
3 times this year, Wigan have had a big fat 0 against the opposition's name. They've all been at home. Wouldn't they just love to keep Warrington scoreless on their own midden here tonight? They lead by 18 points to nil, 52 have gone.
And this is like finals football. This is how you need to defend. This is how you need to attack. Whatever the conditions, you've got to play those conditions.
Here, the chase is on here for this. The chase is on here for this. And I think it's been taken over the touchline by Josh Charnley.
Yeah, it'll be head and feet to Warrington, but what about the kick from Matty Bowen? You talk about players taking control. He knows the condition, amazingly. You know, people think you come from Australia, you've got to play in the sunshine to be able to produce magic. He's produced magic on English conditions. He wants to go out with a bang. You mentioned that, Eddie, before the game started. Matty Bowen, he knows the Sam Tompkins is going to come back, the hero, and yet he wants to leave. He's lost 2 grand finals, one here and one in Australia. Boy, on this form.
Well, Leeds have increased the lead now against Hull at the KC Stadium. So this will be a very important weekend for the top 2 if the scoreline stay as they are. Penny has got pace. Didn't fancy taking on Joel Tompkins on the outside.
Great play by Manfredi, and of course that man, John Bateman, he's had a big game. But this has been a good team effort. I agree with you, Tez. Is it the way that the forwards have just been so compact down the middle?
40-20 attempt here by Dwyer. Didn't quite have the legs, and Charnley made sure it wasn't going over the whitewash far side. Brings it back. Takes some putting on the deck, Joshley.
You could even say there's a big difference.
Selects a captain, and I've played under some very, very good captains over my career. Clive Sullivan, he was a winger, he was a great leader, but I'm not so sure that Warrington are getting the best as a captain out of Joel Monaghan out on the wing. I always felt that the majority of your time you need someone that's in there, in the battle, in the middle, to take control. If there's something going wrong, you've got the ability as a captain to change it.
I don't think they're getting the best out of a lot of players at the moment. We came here last month, watched them beat Wigan 17-6. I'd say, Eddie, they were unrecognisable from what we've seen today. Now, I know we tend to exaggerate when we're in the emotion of a sporting match, and maybe the gap between these two teams shouldn't really be at the 18 that it says on the scoreboard. But Warrington aren't as good. You have to have a degree of sympathy for Gareth O'Brien, the player who's really been replaced by Chris Sandow, and you know, Chris Sandow may prove in the next season and year after to be a great player for Warrington. But from what he's performed in the 3 games tonight, I don't really see a massive difference between him and O'Brien.
Yes, Gareth O'Brien in many ways the forgotten man at the moment. Sandow coming over here. Big raps, big reputation. As Phil says, it might all come good. It doesn't happen overnight.
He's a quality player, Eddie, you can't doubt that, but you know, and it takes a while.
By the way, it's not been sweetness and light for this fellow from start to finish.
No, you're
Matty
right.
Bowen.
No, you're right, and boy, is he finishing on a high. So if he gets this, boy, will he be pleased.
Well, they've elected to kick for goal from 43 metres out, and Bowen doesn't quite have the length. In fact, it doesn't go dead, so Monaghan will run this ball back.
And you'd have to say that it's about the first mistake that the fullback has made.
I think it's a mistake in judgment myself. I mean, it was a long way out, that, wasn't it? You need a Kevin Sinfield or a Matty Smith on his day to kick that.
Time on George, not too many of them.
Or a Stephen Ratchford. Oh, and Harrison has offloaded the ball again, but Warrington are lucky to get up with that, with the ball in the hands, and the tackle count wiped clear.
Yeah, back to 6, and but look, they're finding it difficult to go anywhere. Oh, that was, he just let go at the right moment to Sean O'Loughlin. Certainly went over the horizontal for a while.
Here's Harrison once more. Down he goes. And Sims finds Sandow. And Myler went without it.
Smith put him under pressure. Bateman picks it up. It's just not going Warrington's way. Simple as that.
No, it's all the noise tonight coming in this stadium from the supporters on our left-hand side who've made the short journey from Wigan to be here tonight. They are delighted with what they're seeing. Their team could easily be securing a home playoff semi-final, and Hull aren't done in that one yet either.
Knee kick over the top.
It is to Charnley, and Charnley has got pace. And Warrington come back and bring him down. Quick play the ball, he gets to his feet quickly. Gildart.
Oh, he's gone the wrong way. They had the overlap. Now he's got it away.
To Bowen. And Bowen out wide looking for Manfredi. Manfredi pops it down. Bateman will score. Second try for John Bateman. Second try for John Bateman. And I think Steve-O is right. I think we're going to going home with the spoils tonight.
Tremendous play. You love to see that. Something different. In conditions where you really should not be trying to do. The little chip over the top with about 4 meters to play in on that left-hand side. And then the kick, superb, early in the tackle count. But of course, when you're leading 18-0, you've got the points behind you. You've got the runs on the scoreboard. It was just excellent play. Look at this, Farrell, I thought he'd gone the wrong way. Gets it. And who could it be? But that man again. Matty Bowen, nice tap back. Bateman said, I'll try number 2, he's back to pair. He'll be looking for the hat-trick. But the chip over the top, controlled by Charlie, didn't panic. Warrington were all over this place. He had no idea. Farrell knew that he had to give it away, and look at that. How's that for vision? How's that for the tap back? How's that for Wigan? Been very, very good tonight.
Yes, they have been good tonight. They've been good from the start. 17 points to 6. Warrington won here not too long ago. It's 22-0, and a kick to come. It could be 24 in a second. Bowen is lining this kick up. He missed with his long-range penalty a few moments ago. And the record that we're going to have of 29 wins from 48 summer meetings in Super League and the playoffs since 1996 looks like it's getting better. Oh, and when it goes for you, the luck goes for you. In off the post. 24 points to 0, Wigan.
That just sums up Wigan, doesn't it? It was a well-constructed set of 6 for Wigan, where they kicked over the top, they chipped it to the wing. Josh Charlie gets decent play of the ball, and then the kick comes from here. Good tap back, nice clean ball to that man. And Sean Wainwright, well, he's proud of his players. And the work rate as well, let's not forget the work rate from John Bateman. He's made more tackles than any other his teammates. So not only can he score tries, he works that extra bit hard for the lads as well.
John Bateman tonight's come up with his first 2-try haul for Wigan. Curry and Joel Tompkins.
Well, I think there's a movement to the head, and there certainly was contact.
Calm down, Ashton! Ashton!
There's a few handbags thrown around in there. I'm not so sure about the punches.
Calm down, Joel.
Well, no one throws punches anymore these days, do they, Steve-O, because automatically they'll be sent from the field, they'll be banned. And when it initially kicks off here, you can see Ben Curry, well, he's obviously trying to inspire his teammates. He gets up, Joel Tompkins says something, they rub heads together, Sam Powell comes in trying to split it up. And then, as I say, it looks worse. There's no punches thrown, no, everyone trying to grab everybody and pull them out of that melee.
Well, I disagree. I think there was one that came flying over the top. We'll see, maybe. The penalty's already given. He didn't like it, pushed it. Then there was like 2 stags up in Scotland. And I think there was one just one.
I've got the penalty for the interference anyway. It's Tompkins and Curry.
No.
Okay.
The refereeing touch judge have got a fair old job to sort this out.
Joel, come here, I've got it, mate. Joel, come here. Come here.
And Ben Flower hit the back of Dom Crosby. He didn't hit anybody else.
Okay.
But he swung the arm, Eddie.
penalty's already been given with the interference. I'm going to speak to Flower. No, it's the penalty. It's already. He has to connect and he doesn't. Penalty is for the first interference. Ben Flower, come here. Calm on down.
They've spotted the fact that Ben Flower swung a punch and missed.
Hang on. You throw something, you don't connect. If anything, hit your own man. Stay calm and get on with the game. Well, I'm irrelevant. I'm telling you to calm down. Penalty's there.
I was trying to
First
pull him back,
defence.
sir.
Off the mark, penalty.
It's a penalty to...
What did Ben Curran do
Wigan.
wrong here to concede a penalty?
It was the tackle was complete and he's pushed him sideways twice, so he's penalised for the second effort, and that's what started it all off. I think Ben Flower was claiming that he was trying to put his arm over the shoulder of a player to pull him away.
At top speed.
The referee says,
It's your reputation,
let's
anyway.
calm it
Good for you.
down.
It's been a tough night for Robert Hicks.
It has, and his video referees and his touch judges. Here goes Sean O'Loughlin. The speedster is out wide, which is Williams. There's more speed there in Gildart. Gildart won't be denied this time. Oliver Gildart with his first try in senior rugby league. Marks his debut with a fantastic try from one end of the field to the other. And well, he won, Oliver Gildart, the under-19 grand final against Warrington in 2014. He's been out on loan at Salford this year as his development has continued. He's given the debut because Anthony Gelling is out injured. And just have a look at this, not bad for 19.
And not bad for the old man, Sean O'Loughlin. He knew he didn't have the legs, and what a moment for Oliver Gildart. This was sensational. See how calm, collected. He knew that Williams had got more speed. And Gildart said, I'm in for number one. I will remember that for a long time. And I've got to say, the celebrations of his teammates indicate to me that the wonderful ability of their coach Sean Wayne to always seem to dig deep into the junior ranks has borne fruition yet again.
Yes, it has. It has in Oliver Gildart. He has been knocking on the door for a while, I think, hasn't he? He's been named in the squad, not put in, and then circumstances demand today that he does get put in, and he has let nobody down.
Well, his dad didn't have that pace, Eddie, let me tell you that. When I played against him, but they've got 13 youngsters that have come through the ranks playing this evening for Wigan, so they've done a tremendous job. And Oliver Gildart, another one of those off the production line.
They do have a deeper pool than most to fish from, don't they, in Wigan?
The town has more junior ties
Yes.
than most others in the country. It's the best.
But it's
area.
identifying them and then having the courage to put them in, I suppose, at this level.
Eddie, but it's not just, as we see the miss from Matty Bowen, it's not just that the youngsters within the town, it's obviously Wigan's a big club like Leeds are, like Saints are. They attract youngsters from all surrounding areas. There was too many Warrington players that were looking up, they were still looking for some square-ups. They were getting off the line, trying to belt some of the Wigan players. Sean O'Loughlin just hits a very good hole and then pushing up in support with him and his teammates, and George William, and supplies that pass onto Oliver Gildart.
Delight from Wigan. They helped the young man celebrate his first try.
One, move Ashton. Hold Ben, hold, go. Ashton, get out of them rocks.
Well, it's
Farrell takes it forward.
been a bitter lesson, should I say, for and it's been a sour note as well. So I will say that
Well done.
for Warrington, because they have come up against a very, very professional outfit. They've worked hard. They've had control even early. Okay, they had a little bit of luck with a controversial try that went to Farrell, but from there on in, there's only been one team in it.
Look at the hands in these conditions. And Manfredi pulled down by Atkins. Good defence from Atkins. He wouldn't let that one go.
Go, good.
Last tackle here. And Smith with another inch-perfect kick to the in-goal area. Monaghan picks it up. Chasers have arrived.
One.
Mike, you said there's only been one team in it.
Hold.
After what we saw
Hold
last
up.
night and what we've seen tonight, previous weeks we've been to some of the top sides as well in the Super 8s. Are there only two teams in it?
That's it.
Are there only Leeds and Wigan who can win this competition?
Yes,
Played at a different level, faster pace, better
Yes.
skill.
yes.
Castleford Hall, St Helens, Castleford Huddersfield, St Helens might have something to say about that between now and the end of the campaign.
Oh,
They've only got about 7 weeks, haven't they, to
Yes.
fix that up? Is it less now, really? I suppose the grand final's 7 weeks away. 6 weeks.
7 weeks tomorrow, grand final night.
So they've got 6 weeks, haven't they? And in the 6 weeks, Don Crosby's thrown a few there.
You know, that hurts, doesn't it?
Hey, and let's not forget, Eddie, it's not the first time that I'll be proved wrong. And it's on in back play.
Well,
There's a lot of words, a lot of pulling and shoving. Boy, I don't know who manufactures the handbags around here, but they're on sale at the moment.
And Bowen goes down in the challenge while the melee up the other end of the field sorts itself out.
And you know, we won't condone violence. Nobody wants to see two sets of players just throwing punches, but you want to see a bit of passion, don't you? You want to see a bit of passion. You get paid to play rugby league, and when you're getting beaten, when there's 28 points, put passion on the losing side. You want to see that fighting spirit.
Yeah, but there's a difference between fighting spirit and fighting.
It's 28-0. This is a bad night for Warrington. And Matty Smith down the middle and straight into the arms of Stefan Ratchford.
Not had many opportunities, as is the fullback. Not like his opposite, Matty Bowen. But Ratchford realises that they've been absolutely pulverised. Look at that. When you get hit and you've just taken one step from your defence against you, you realise that you are up against it, and again they've lost it. That'll be a knock-on.
Yeah, knock on both ways.
Eddie, and the previous tackle to that Sam Powell. No disrespect to Sam Powell, he's not known for his big hits. That man is number 13, Sean O'Loughlin. But Sam Powell, he knows that there's one man just carrying the ball, there's nobody in support of him, so what does he do? Flies out the line, he picks him out.
Forearms in the face.
Look at this, number 16.
Stay with me.
It's just a good shot, it's a good
Listen to what I've just said.
tackle. He just wants it more.
Tej, when you look at the defensive quality and you look at the stats, Phil, in regards to the amount of times that Wigan have gone into the tackle before a Warrington player has actually advanced more than 1 metre. It's been so obvious tonight.
Right, calm down. I've told you.
Well, the referee's having words with Don Crosby, who was involved in that altercation with that man, Ashton Sims, not long ago. By the way, Warrington nilled twice only in Super League. 18-0 at Castleford, 2001. 21-0 against tonight's opposition, Wigan, in 1990 at the old Wilderspool ground on the other side of town. So this would be 1996, I beg your pardon, it is. In the Wilderspool match against Wigan, 1996. It's an unwanted piece of history that might be coming their way tonight.
Well, that was a knock-on-a-thon, and they'll go back to the original.
How far back to go?
About 4 knock-ons. Here's one. Was it stripped?
That was ruled as being played at, and that was the original 0 tackle.
And that's a second, and then here comes a third.
Talking to everybody about everything. Come on.
Yeah, not the great conditions. It has surprised me late in the game that the way that Wigan can close it down and then throw the onslaught. You know, we saw that. I mean, the break there from Sean O'Loughlin that got Guild out the try. I mean, that was outstanding.
You get an example here, Mike, of the point you said about how quick Wigan move up in the defence. Well, I thought you would, but Warrington have lost possession.
It hasn't been the night for Warrington. We spoke to their coach, Tony Smith, and he says that, of course, we always go out with the intention of winning. We wanted a little bit of pride to be shown tonight, but I'm afraid they know they've just come up against a better outfit.
Steve Owen, you asked the question to Phil about that when Warrington seemed to be passing the ball, they just seem to be making 1 metre above the game line. That's because of the speed of which we're going to moving up, and they're coming off the back of slow play, the balls. They've not won, realistically, over 60% of the times they've took the ball in. They've been totally dominated.
Leeds are stretching away against Hull at the KC Stadium. All the tries for you later on from that one.
George again. Hold, go.
And Powell to Smith to Tompkins. Bounces and bobbles all over the place, and
was forward, I feel.
Knock on, I think, as well.
Well, I think both sets of players know when the contest has been won, and to a certain degree, I think both have switched off here now.
Do you know, Phil, I was going to say that as well, because the warning sign there for Warrington, when the ball was shifted, there was a gaping hole in the middle. If the ball would have come back to that edge, I'm sure that could have been another try. They just switched off in defence, and they've got to get through this 11 minutes and concentrate on next week now, Warrington.
Yeah, well, I think that the couple of, shall we say, little scraps midfield, a lot of especially the Wigan players will be saying, and I'm sure that Sean Wayne had got the message out and said, hey, come on, it's going to be silly to find yourself maybe sent off for no apparent reason, getting involved in something when we've got the game won.
Lee Wakefield from the qualifiers tomorrow afternoon at 3 on Sky Sports 1. And that is followed by the Catalan Dragons against Castleford at 5 on Sky Sports 3. There's been a late change of channel there. It was Sky Sports 5, it's now Sky Sports 3 for the Catalan Dragons against Castleford, and that's a big game for the Castleford Tigers. The ball again goes to ground.
Back to 6, surely. I think it was a Wigan player that got to it, but Robert Hicks, the official, well, what's
given a knock
now?
on. He has given a knock on here. I think it must be against Warrington, the way that Wigan are celebrating. Nothing wrong there. And Wheeler, does he lose the ball? Yes, he does.
Everything was fine. It was on the
Just having a look at the top of the table in this Super 8s, by the way. Leeds look like they're going to win at Hull, so they'll be on 39 points. Wigan are going to win here, they're on 35. Then we've got St Helens and Huddersfield on 32. And Castleford at the moment on 30. So it's closing up for 3rd, 4th and 5th. It looks as though Leeds and Wigan have top and 2nd in their pockets at the moment.
And of course the big advantage of having the home tie in that semi-final. Remember, the top 4 only 80 minutes away to get into the grand final now.
Leeds do move on to 39 points for the season, 36-22. Warrington here will be stuck on 24 points, and that will be 11 behind Wigan, and it's 6-8, of course, behind Saints and Huddersfield. They're gone.
Yep. And it's the battle for the 4th position, isn't it? That is really going to catch the attention of the fans. And that's a good win by Leeds.
Keep coming back beyond the line, come on.
Leeds had quite a few of their stars out.
By the way,
shows you their depth.
Whoever would have thought at the end of round 3 of the Super 8s in the first Utility Super League, we would be saying this, that the champions and Warrington have lost all 3 matches so far. It's almost unthinkable. And we're going to looking for more here. Warrington pre-season favourites.
It's a cruel game. It's a cruel game though, isn't it, Eddie?
Go, play on.
Williams, back it comes to Crosby.
Dominance!
I might even be thinking for a little bit of a rest and a one-pointer here.
You never give it up, do you?
Play on what?
Who's got this? Warrington, I think.
Yep.
Move now.
Eddie, if you look at Warrington's season, a lot of the players have been criticised. First of all, it was the half-backs that were criticised. Darrell Clark's been criticised, saying that he's not quite fitted in to the way Warren's played. Stephen Wright's been criticised. I just think that it's one of those years that things haven't gone well for them at the minute. Darrell Clark's obviously going to take time to bed into the way Warrington play. And the half-backs themselves, you've got Gareth O'Brien, who's a youngster. You've got Richie Myler, who's off to Catalan. So I don't think it's just the key positions that they've not played well. Individuals have played well, but not as a team.
And we also ought to mention they've got absent Reece and Ben Evans, Matty Russell, Chris Bridge, Toby King, Gene Ormsby, James Laithwaite, Anthony England and Declan Patton.
The question is, what is the way they play? You know, what is their unique style? I'm slightly confused here. There's another knock on there from Ben Westwood. But how are they attempting to play and beat their opponents? Because I'm confused. I've watched them to try and see when they're attacking it, Terry. What are they attempting to do?
I'll tell you what the way that Warrington have always played them over the years. They've always thrown the ball around. I think that has been to their detriment this year because they made far too many mistakes.
Less passes than any other side in the league.
No, but by the time they're trying to play on the outside of teams, they're trying to play on the edge. That's where they're making mistakes. They're making mistakes close to their own line. They're not building any pressure, and that's what I saw from Warrington this year.
Well, we're picking over the bones of the Warrington skeleton. I also think, actually praise Wigan, the way they played tonight.
Well, I have done all night. They've been sensational, and this guy has. What a game it's had for a three-quarter, the fullback Matty Bowen. In a situation where you think it's so wet out there, slippery conditions, keep it simple, kick and chase.
Interesting to see the handling errors.
And that's another.
Yeah, we've seen a few. I just wonder how many handling errors have been made by each side at the moment.
Well, there's certainly been a few, Eddie.
I'm sure someone's working on that as the penalty is given.
Almost 20, I think. Almost 20 now.
Josh!
Almost 20, is it, Phil?
And it's where the mistakes are made, Eddie.
Equally shared, or? There we go. 14 by
20.
Warrington, 9 by Wigan.
Eddie, but it's where you make those
Almost
mistakes.
20, Phil.
Move now!
It is almost 20.
Go!
Almost
23. Almost 25.
2! Move, Liam!
It's almost over.
It is
And
almost over.
I think a lot of the Warrington players
Go!
are looking forward to the hooter. As they know, they've been just absolutely hammered. What a hit there.
Tony Clubb called Sandow a bit high.
Yeah. He tried to duck underneath it. Big smile from Chris Sandow. He made contact on the ball to start with, but finished up in the mush.
Discipline, come on, Tony. Back here, Joel.
I've got to be fair to Tony Clubb. He apologised while Sandow was on the deck.
Now, apart from everything else, Warrington are looking to avoid some unwanted club history here. They have never failed to score on this ground previously. So can they get over that line and maintain that proud record of theirs?
Well, surely not a field goal, Eddie.
Hill. Still, Chris Hill dumps the ball back off the legs of King. Flung into no man's land. Here is Westwood. Back it comes to Clark. They've lost momentum here because Tompkins saw to it that the man of steel wasn't making any progress, and Sandow chips through and behind the line, and Manfredi will take the ball over the dead ball line. Goal line dropout that Warrington have forced.
Yeah, I think all 26 players now realise that we'll have a little bit of a rest. Let's just trundle it through. This will be the dropout from underneath the sticks.
4 minutes to go, goal line dropout. The Wigan support behind those posts are celebrating a famous win. They sense something is coming in the next 7 weeks. We shall see. Leeds with the weakened team ahead of Wembley have won at Hull, don't forget. And they have an away match to come at St Helens in September. Plenty to look forward to in these Super 8s. It's all not cut and dried yet.
A few of the Wigan players have to realise, just calm down. Because there's a few out there that are trying to just sort a few things out. There's been a lot of verbals throughout this game, and they cannot afford, Wigan have won this convincingly. Don't do anything silly, don't get caught into it, because I just get a feeling in the last couple of minutes it might turn a little bit nasty.
Play on. 3, go.
Here now is Hill. Hill gets it out to the back of the hand and finds Darryl Clark. Oh, and Clark then just presents it to George Williams.
Early
It's not
Christmas
been
box.
the night.
No, an early Christmas box there, and you can see the head go back of Darryl Clark in total disgust.
Here's that man, Bowen.
Move, Chris. Here, hold. Wait, go.
He has been everywhere, hasn't he? Matty Bowen, but let's not forget he played 270 times for North Queensland. He's got a load of experience behind him.
Hold.
And there's the mistake, and that's the night that Darryl Clark and his teammates have had.
Yes, frustration.
Yeah.
Bateman
3.
eventually goes down.
Hold, go.
Powell. Here comes Mossop.
4. Move. Wait.
Well, I'm still going for the one, Eddie.
I think you only say that to upset people, Crosby.
Me?
Last.
You.
Ashton,
You.
move. Here, Chris. Wait.
Go for it.
Wait.
Come on,
go.
Smithy. Here we go.
He is doing as well. He is doing. I don't believe it. I do not believe it. He's missed it anyway.
I can't believe it either. I called for it. Why not?
Steve-O, you've called for another 150 of them, but they've gone for that one.
You look through the history books.
Oh, dear me.
One, move, hold, go.
I do get it right sometimes, you know.
Well, you do, but
Two,
why on earth would they at 28-0? Well, I suppose just to rub a bit more salt in the wound, and
Well,
this is
no.
going to rub a bit more salt in the wound now because they've knocked on again, Warrington.
All it is, 2 drives, 1 point, Matty Smith. It eats up another minute. And by that time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's all over.
And I'll say it again, look where the mistakes come from Warrington, close to the line.
Steve, it's just been pointed out to me that if you love your drop goals so much in your dotage as you watch this game, why did you never drop one as a
Get in,
player?
come on.
Because I had
Line in,
a man
Stefan.
called Nigel Stevenson.
Okay, Matt.
Your brother?
Out.
No, not related. Alan Agar, very good at
One,
it.
move, George.
And you
Back
bow
here.
to
Go.
quality.
Fair enough.
So the Wigan supporters don't want to drop goals, Steve. They want to try here, send them home happy, the short
Hold.
journey back to their own town and own beds here on what's been a very impressive night. Here they're all set up here,
Move
centre
in your
field,
line.
they can go left, they can go
Line
right,
then.
they've got bodies in the right position, and they time it the runs to perfection.
And there is the slid kick through by
Slidey.
Mattis. I'm sorry, it's a new word. Didn't he put a foot on the dead ball line anyway, Stefan Ratchford?
It appeared that way, otherwise it's a dropout.
But it's a goal line dropout.
And, yep, just the heel.
Well, it's 15 seconds to go. I don't think Robert Hicks will be calling time off, will he?
No.
Let's get going.
He'll want to get into the shower quickly, too.
Yeah, it's been a damp old night.
Oh, it's been awful.
Let's go.
It's been typical of this summer. Sandow didn't fancy it. Nobody did. It's all over. That unwanted history is made by Warrington. They failed to score on this ground for the first time. Bateman, magnificent second half, 2 tries, added to the one for the debut boy Gildart. 28-0. The Wigan Warriors have beaten the Warrington Wolves. We will have all the tries from Hull coming up, and we'll have analysis of this win for Wigan. But right now on Sky Sports 3 you can watch the Cincinnati Masters quarter-final between Andy Murray and Richard Gasquet. That's now on Sky Sports 3. They're in the second set. But when we come back, as I say, we'll analyse this tremendous win by the Wigan Warriors by 28 points to 0. They were ahead at half-time 12-0, Farrell and Clubb. Then we got the Bateman tries. They came along in a 10-minute spell, and young Oliver Gildart wrapped the scoring up on the hour mark. And guess who is man of the match? Yes, it's Matty Bowen. He's with Angela.
Matty Bowen, you must have enjoyed that performance. It looked like it with every single kick and every single pass.
Yeah, it was a good win. I think we had to build on from last week, and I was the happiest to see Wayne after last week's game. But it was, even though it was a loss, boys played well, and we needed to continue this in the next coming game. So boys, played well tonight, and got a week off now, and looking forward to the next game.
That nil's a sweet one. It's the first time they've ever been nilled on this ground as well.
It's always good to trying to keep them scoreless, and that's what I thought. I thought our forwards played well tonight, and everyone defended well. So that's the main part. We've got to build on that now, and got the next couple of games, and looking forward to it.
Well done, thank you, Matty. We'll ask Sean Wayne, the coach, now a couple of questions. Sean, you played the conditions, and there were points in that second half where I thought you said, to heck with the conditions, we're going to play with flair.
Yeah, I mean, they did their offload game in the first half as a credit to them. They're a good team, good individuals, and we struggled with that offload game. So half-time, we fixed it a bit, and all the senior players stood up today. We did some good stuff.
Looking at the senior players, it was a fantastic break there by O'Loughlin. He's still got in his legs, hasn't he?
Oh, he's a good player. He's an outstanding player, but I've no doubt in my mind there's some outstanding individuals in the Warrington team, but I was impressed with what we did today. We went about our business really well. I thought we was ruthless in certain parts of the field, and that's what we've been trying to do. It just took a few rounds for us to get that.
This does wonders really for your league position. Leeds have won again tonight, but it keeps you really on their toes.
Oh yeah, I mean, we get what we get. We'll just keep knocking games off and playing as well as we can, and today we played well, and whatever happens at the end of the year, we'll get what we deserve.
Thanks very much for your time. Congratulations. Tony Smith's with us now. Tony, you could say a lot about that game, but what you can't criticise really is the lack of effort from your players.
Not lack of effort. We got outplayed in that second half. They scored some fantastic tries. I thought the effort was okay in terms of getting down their end, and we started with a bit of composure. We lost some of that as the game went on in the second half. I didn't think there was much between us in the first half. In the second half, I did. You know, they were very sharp and they took their opportunities, and we didn't create enough in the second half of the second half, and we're just backpedaling then. But you know, all credit to Wigan, and we'll have to go back and lick our wounds and dust ourselves off for next week. And we've got 2 weeks to get ready, and we'll need those 2 weeks. The way we played tonight wasn't good enough, and we'll be working hard.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah, they'll be working hard, but I'm afraid that that's probably curtains as far as any thoughts of making it to the playoff semi-finals, and of course Old Trafford is concerned. But Wigan have certainly got Old Trafford in their sights. All these players, they get next week off because it is the Challenge Cup final, Leeds against Hull Kingston Rovers. The Super 8s will resume the week after that. But when we come back, the analysis of this win for Wigan and all the tries from the KC Stadium between Hull and the Leeds Rhinos.